Hey guys, my name is Simpzy. How you all doing? Welcome to my Third Age Total War High Elves campaign back on DAC AGO. The objective and challenge of today's video is to rush Mordor with Elrond. I want to occupy 15 regions today, take Mordor, Barad-dûr, and have like heaps of battles in Mordor, like the Battle of the Last Alliance, sort of in the fields in and around Mordor. That's what I want to do with the High Elves. So, I'm going to be doing a full campaign in today's video, in one video, so strap yourselves in. If I can't complete this objective of taking Mordor, I'll consider this campaign a failure. Let me know in the comments other campaigns and challenges you'd like me to do in the comments. So together, let's bring down Mordor. I hope you guys enjoy. I don't know about you guys, but I really like the High Elves as a faction in Third Age. But I feel like just hanging up in the north can get a little bit boring. Like, you want to go down where the action is. You want to be fighting Mordor, Isengard, and sort of helping out Rohan and stuff. So I kind of came up with a plan here. As in Linden, we have one of the largest... I reckon we've got the largest fleet in the game, probably. And it's sort of a little bit wasted down there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build up an army at Linden, get the ships going, and then we'll build an army in Imladris as well, and then we'll rally up with a huge army, and we'll sail all the way up to Minas Tirith and help out our Gondorian allies, because the rivers here are wide enough for ships to navigate through, and then we'll basically focus on Mordor purely. Okay, so let's have a look at recruitment we can get. So let's just get a bunch of elves if we can. It's going to take a little while to build this up as DAC AGO, the recruitment time. Look at that, 6 turns for even one unit of cavalry. So it's going to take a little bit for us to build up. We're also going to have to keep pretty decent garrisons back in Imladris. I can't say that probably for some reason. And Linden. We're going to need some mines here to keep our finances going, because once we sort of go with a full stack in a bit, we're going to have to leave this territory behind. So yeah, I want to... Yeah, we'll just sort of see how Gondor does. Like, you never know. We might have the Battle of Minas Tirith if it gets taken, Osgiliath. What is it called? Cirith Ungol, Minas Morgalt, Barad-dûr, the Black Gate. It's going to be a lot of fun, focusing on Mordor purely. Okay, so we're just trying to push down to Tharbad here because there's a river access, and Elrond is going to get picked up. So we might actually try and take some of this territory. It's just rebel territory down in the south. There's even like one over here as well. So as we're heading and leaving Imladris, we might as well try and gobble up and take some of this rebel territory. It will give us some nice supplemental income. Okay, the ship has nearly arrived at Tharbad, and High Lord Elrond should be able to make quick work of just some, what are these, ruffians and some brigands and some sellswords. So we'll quickly just auto-resolve that one. No one really of interest. And we should be able to hold this territory here. We might even be able to use this as a bit of a base of operations, just to continually flood down units until we have a bit of a staging ground. Because we could maybe disembark in South Gondor, maybe set up a leapfrog pad, maybe. Okay, we're going to siege out Tharbad now. There's only one unit inside, and it looks like some Dunlendings are pushing north. So Elrond can take quite swiftly 2 pieces of territory in about 8 turns. So we'll replenish and repair and continue on. Alrighty, so I think we're ready to leave Tharbad now. So we've got about a stack and a half within 17 turns, not too bad. We'll rally up with the army that we've assembled here in Linden as well. So we're just pretty much on a mass recruitment spree, and we nearly have 2 full stacks at our disposal. So we'll rally up in the sea somewhere, and we'll eventually head our way to Gondor. Alrighty, 20 turns into the campaign, this is what we're working with. So Elrond has assembled some of the last elves that want to leave Middle-earth and want to go on one last famed crusade against Mordor and continue and reunite the last alliance. And then we've got a half a stack here as well. So it's going to take us a little while to get down to Gondor, but let's just hope they are holding out 20 turns in. It's going to be really interesting to see how this campaign goes. So we want to try and take 15 regions, take Barad-dûr, and eliminate Mordor if we can. We want to try and take the Dark Mountain Pass. So it's going to take a little while to get there. I'll skip ahead once we're just at Osgiliath. But hopefully we don't get attacked by pirates or brigands on our way there. But I'm curious to see where Gondor is going to be 20 turns in. So we've kept some small garrisons here just to defend our territory. But we should be okay. If we have to manually defend some of these, that's okay. Alright, 28 turns in. We're about to be in eye shot of Minas Tirith. Osgiliath has reached. What's happened? Okay, Gondor is still holding for now. However, eastern Osgiliath has fallen. The west remains. Boromir is nearly under siege. So Mordor has put them under the pump a bit. We are currently at war with Mordor technically. So, looks like we're not going to be able to disembark there. We might be better off disembarking further south. We'll see how we go. Let's negotiate with Gondor though, because we want to make sure we get proper alliances and military access, because once we start taking territory in Mordor, we want them to sort of help us out and push into Mordor if we can. So an alliance has been signed with Steward Denethor. Come on, I want to get some money. We might actually be able to give you just basically my treasury. Okay, that doesn't work. Hang on. Just spamming that usually makes it instead of manually clicking it. Generous. So offer that. Good. Oh, just rejected. That's annoying. We'll eventually get that once we get some money. But an alliance and military access with Gondor, better than nothing. Okay, so let's see what we're working with. We'll move our spies up. So there's a pretty decent army there. Oh. Osgiliath hasn't been taken. There is a Gondorian force heading south, though. You should be defending Osgiliath, to be honest. Right, well, I said we'll disembark at Osgiliath, but I think I've changed my mind. We'll push south here, and we'll use this territory as our first base of operations. So even if we lose a battle to the north, we will be able to flee back to this rebel territory position. So we should be alright to take this. We've got Ballista, so we can attack in one turn. And we only lost 93, so that's quite good. So we've taken our first piece of territory on the border of Mordor. I'm kind of happy about that, because Gondor probably didn't even need it anyway. We'll convert the culture, and we'll use Ostithel. Yeah, Ostithel. Ostithel. Okay, I don't think I've ever said that out loud. It's not a territory usually tend to take. Oh, you can get some... Oh, we get some Osgiliath Rangers at the top of the turn. That'd be brilliant if we could. Let's move some sellswords in. The population really doesn't like me there, so we'll just move you in for now, and we'll move this army up. So we'll try and, I guess, liberate eastern Osgiliath if we're successful. Okay, welcome to the top of the turn. Let's get those Osgiliath Rangers in and try and lift the siege. So they are going after them quite a bit. Calandros is still under Gondor control. The Witch King of Angmar's in East Osgiliath. That's a really good play. He's coming pretty early. I don't think he came until like turn 50 in my Mordor campaign. So Zagar's in there. Oh, there's a fair few high-ranking orcs, so that's interesting. And Sunfire's back in Minas Morgalt. Okay, so the elves have come to help out Gondor. I'm sure Denethor is licking his lips. We'll try and throw back some of these units just to make this battle a bit easier. So I won't play that. I'll play this one against the Witch King. There will be some reinforcements. I could go with a night attack. Yeah, there we go. If we've got the night fighter trait, we'll try and pick them off one by one. But what's in the reinforcements, actually? Oh, that's actually quite a bit. We might struggle if they pin us and hit us from both sides. So we'll go with the night attack. And Elrond has an opportunity to get rid of the Witch King of Angmar. Yeah, because they actually wanted us to go after Angmar, and, well, we're probably fighting the Witch King a lot earlier than we would be in the north. But yeah, I always thought, like, what if Elrond got some of the last of the elves? They wanted to stay in Middle-earth and brought an army to go down and help. You know what I mean? Particularly with the High Elves. Like, they've got this huge navy. I feel like you want to take the seas and sort of go around and help out people of Middle-earth. Okay, so we've got a bit of a good-looking army build here. So we've got High Elves, we've got some Dwarven Travellers we've managed to pick up as well. We've also just got some Northern Rangers, even got some Men of Gondor, Osgiliath Archers, or Ithilien rather. They were recruited from Osgiliath-ish. Okay, so the first battle of the High Elves campaign is in Osgiliath. A bit crazy. But I don't know. Let me know other campaigns. Like, is it just not me? Like, I've done this a fair few times. I think I remember like early on when I used to play Medieval 2, maybe when I was a kid, like now thinking about it when the game first came out, I would tend to like play as the Byzantine, I think it was like Russia, like I'd flee Russia in Medieval 2, then go to Ireland and then like take England, or like I'll do like expedition campaigns, you know what I mean? Move a faction from its traditional territory and start afresh in a new area. This what this campaign feels like a bit. Like you could spend, I don't know, 100 episodes just taking the North End, push down to Mordor, but I think I'd just rather rush on the way through. If we've got the ships, just be more interesting, I feel. Okay, so for some reason they're on the far eastern part of Osgiliath, so we're going to have to make our way over. We've got plenty of archers, so we're going to be able to arc our shots up over the broken and low-leveled Osgiliath wall, and we'll group up our infantry as well, which aren't too shabby. We have 3 general units, which is fine. And so by the look of it, we're going to have some decent battles and sieges. So luckily, well, I guess unluckily, because we didn't get to play the battles, but luckily for Gondor, Western Osgiliath is held, and Minas Tirith, because we might have had to take that. So we'll be able to occupy East Osgiliath. We'll use it as another base of operations. We'll replenish and repair and build it up. We are probably going to have to exterminate the populace, unfortunately, to control and hold it, because, yeah, that's just a bit of a thing in Medieval 2. It is hard to control other cultures, even though I'm sure the villagers and remaining people in Osgiliath would be quite happy to see the High Elves helping them out. They probably don't even know what an elf looks like. Probably rumours and legends. I don't think the hobbits even saw elves until they went on their travels. So some of my high elf archers are getting their shots off, and Elrond here is further at the back. There he is. Donned some pretty cool armor, but check out his bodyguard. His bodyguard looks awesome. Hope we can get more of those heavy armored, golden plated elves. So the Witch King of Angmar is here. We've got to watch out for him and his cavalry unit, so we'll try and soften his temple guard up as best we can. Oh no, you're moving in, you fools! Why are you going so close? God, I hate that. Retreat! Flee for your lives! Oh no, they're giving chase. Ugh. Maybe it might bait them out, I guess. No, maybe not. I was going to say we can send in our cavalry to pin them down. That's annoying. Alright, just need to be a bit more patient and careful. Let's move our infantry up here to block the gateway so they can't come out. Then I can move my archers closer up. So all we want to do is skirmish, harass, just try and whittle down as many of the orcish, Mordor, Uruk hit points as we can. Okay, so they do seem to have some Easterlings there as well. They could be a problem. But it looks like all my archers now are getting their shots off. And these Ithilien Rangers have scouted ahead. They know the way into Osgiliath and have given us some decent intelligence and line of sight. So we've only killed 1%. But a massive opportunity here to kill the Witch King. Well, send him back to Barad-dûr to convalesce. At least his terror won't be on the battlefield too much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my army inside now. We're kind of struggling. Did you see that archer volley? Kind of hit the top of the roofs there. So I'm going to push them in so I can move my archers into a better position. And what I'll do is I'll put my general's bodyguard on the right-hand side just to block that secondary corridor in. Right, I think... Oh, there we go. I was going to say, the archers have too many men to a man, so the pathfinding was a little bit iffy there, trying to set them out. We'll move on in. We do have a ballista. I don't know if we're going to be able to use it that much. Maybe. We'll see how we go. Also got plenty of cavalry and archers as well. But we've really got to be careful here with this full stack, because it's very much like the Breeland expedition video I did. We've only got a limited amount of soldiers, and we've got a mission to take out Mordor, and we're not going to be able to recruit them for quite some time. We might not be able to repair fully back to full capacity. So every single elf we lose, an allied soldier lost, is going to be massive. So there seems to be an Easterling holding here. They have some Loki Khan cavalry, but we're starting to get some shots off. Some of our elves even have a peltasts, just like a throwing javelin by the look of it. I was about to call it a peeler, but that wouldn't make sense. So we'll get my archers to start hitting multiple targets. 3-4 units if we can. Because in a defensive position, those Easterlings are going to be a little bit of a problem. The Marauders, we should be okay, but hitting from behind might be a good idea. If they're... Yeah, yeah, everyone target these medium Easterling infantry. Especially when they're not facing us. Okay, my ballista is taking a long time to get here. Oh, that's what I want. Look at this, we're just shredding through them. Because they got their backs to us. Well... Yeah, does that make sense? They've got a shield on their back, or maybe that's just like an aesthetic thing. It doesn't actually give them defense, you know what I mean? You think it would, realistically, having this huge square shield on your back. But it might not. We've managed to knock out 20% of them now. And we're just slowly but surely taking our time. Pushing through the streets of Osgiliath. They might be charging here as we've come up a bit. There's nearly an Easterling cavalry charge. So they have done the smart thing and tried to hit my right-hand side. But Mordor has commanded the Easterling cavalry to charge on in. And we are holding for now with our Linden Guard. Trying to reform my archers up again. My bodyguard on the right-hand side has taken a full brunt from the Temple Knights commanded by the Witch King of Angmar. If we could get rid of him, that would be fantastic. Some Dunedain scouts sitting further out the back, and we'll keep our heavy cavalry in reserve if we need it. We've lost 3% to their 37. We're in a really good position here to deal a pretty decent blow against the Mordor forces in Osgiliath. They wouldn't have expected Lord Elrond and his High Elf Inquisition. No one would have expected it. Oh, hang on. A little bit laggy here. Hey! The Witch King of Angmar has fallen. That's brilliant. That's really, really good stuff. And now it's 38. That's some pretty good random chance. That's some pretty good RNG. I like it. I like it a lot. Oh, there's a lot swarming me here. There's the general units against that Temple Guard. Alright. We're doing everything right in this, and then Osgiliath will be under High Elf occupation. That actually is really quite lucky. We're not even... we were only about 30% through the enemy army. Not even 50. And the Witch King has been sent back to... what? The Shadow Realm from whence he came. Okay, they're shaken and routing. Nearly at 70% to our 10. So, once we've dealt with this, we'll probably try and push to Minas Morgalt. But there's still a fair few Mordor high-ranking generals, even some Nazgûl nearby, which we'll have to deal with. Okay. They are really now fleeing back. Those black orcs are just getting shredded. These archers are doing really, really good. Are they doing better than the elves in my Lothlórien series? Maybe. Maybe it's just Elrond's unit and those... Those, rangers. Some scouts there. So there's only a handful of Mordor units left now. We better push into the town square and claim the city. But hopefully, with this victory in Osgiliath, gives Gondor a bit of a second wind. But they were not looking good in this playthrough. Kind of like Rohan and Isengard. Isengard swarmed them in my Elves of Lothlórien series. Like, Rohan nearly capitulated. They nearly got fully conquered. I feel like Gondor maybe in this playthrough might have suffered the same fate. I wonder how things would go if we didn't turn up. Okay, so let's grab all my infantry and we'll charge on in to finish off the last little units hanging out. 1191. Just some Easterlings holding here. And some Marauders. And there's even some Haradrim further at the back. All three flavours and varieties of the Mordor host. Haradrim, Easterling and Orc. But we're making quick work of these. We've initiated the countdown now. But we're going to be able to finish them off well beforehand. I need a couple more tribesmen now. Perfect. And we should be able to claim victory. Alright. Clear victory. We've taken Eastern Osgiliath. We'll exterminate the pop just so we can control the Northmen inside. Well, it's not Northmen, it's just like whatever culture this is. Numenorian or whatever. Men. Okay. Right, so we still need to deal with some of these armies on the outskirts. So I think going with lightning strike. That's a Warhammer 2 thing. Go with night battles and just fight them one by one. Elrond should be fine. Another clear victory. And we're basically just sending the rest of these guys back to Minas Morgalt, which we'll probably have to siege out. There's an army there between west and east. We should be alright though. But Gondor is safe for now. Okay. So we'll deal with this. Oh! The Gondorians are going to help us out with some units. Perfect. We'll be able to crush them. We won't go with a night attack. But they're going to be able to get basically crushed. Oh, so Captain Boromir has been saved as well. That's cool. Right. Time to push for Minas Morgalt. So, we've still got a stack and a bit, but most of them have fled back into the Tower of the Moon. So there's a Haradrim unit outside, so we'll move you up. That might bait them out. It is. Okay. So thankfully we don't have to siege it. It's going to be a battle. I guess it's going to look kind of similar to that image. Oh wow. So once again, High Elf Elrond finds himself on the dark, black and desolate fields of Mordor. So thankfully we don't have to play the Battle of Minas Morgalt, like, casualties wise. I would have liked to play it, but yeah, it's just a shame that unit drew it out. So this can be a little bit tricky fighting in the open field, but we're probably going to save more of our elves doing it this way. forcing a draw out rather than fighting an offensive siege. Because Minas Morgalt, the thing is, it's kind of like Moria, ain't it? It's like very narrow choke points. Kind of like Dol Guldor. We're not going to be able to use our strengths. And our strengths lie on our archers and cavalry. So open field battles are definitely the play for us. Because it allows us to use our archers at our best capacity. Because sometimes, like, depending how large and big the custom settlement is, you can struggle to arc your shots a bit. So, that's the Haradrim force, and then this is the reinforcing one. We go aggressive. Actually go to shootout stance, I've changed my mind, because we're going to be shooting out against them. We're going to have to completely reform the host, so let's get all of our infantry to go here. There seems to be a little bit of flat ground, so make sure you're running here. Elrond is hitting those horse archer, that Haradrim unit with his archers. So what I'll do, I'll send in my heavy elvish cavalry to engage. Perfect. We've engaged the Southron Lancers now, 81 of them, and we'll continue with our Dunedain scouts to get some shots off. I'm going to swing back to attack, because if I sit it on, like, because you got attack, which they'll charge and push. Defense, they'll sort of defend their position, and shoot out, they'll try and shoot out from that position. What I want to do is maybe charge. Depending on how well they push, we could switch back to shootout, because I want to try and skirmish. I'm going to basically make a front line and then not really charge against them with my main force until most of my ammunition has been fully emptied. Right, good little test here against those lancers and my elvish heavy cavalry, but this is going to be a tough one because there's about 7 general. Whoa, okay, right. I was going to say, how did we do that? What, in a Luvatar? Is that what they would say? Oh, far out. Right. We've nearly finished off those lancers there. That's where the kill came from. I was like, oh, was it one of the decent general's bodyguard? Because there's 7 of them, and most of them either have temple marksman or Uruk black bodyguard. So we're slowly but surely rotating and moving into our position, and then we'll get some shots off. Quickly now, double time. Some Easterlings coming in. They're probably the first. Got some Mithlon nobles pairing up. Oh, we've actually got some of our own pikes. Oh, we're about to get a bit of a pike off here. A stick battle. Okay, we've smashed them there. We did really, really well. Let's get those Dunedain scouts on the left. So our nobles are now here. Oh, this is perfect. Who's got the biggest stick? The High Elves or the Easterlings? Probably us by the look of it. Oh yeah, stick 'em with the pointy end. Alright. Okay, continue to be a bit aggressive because it actually seems to be a decent play over here. Alright, Elrond and his archers getting some shots off. And some of the Mordor units are actually engaging my front line. Gotta watch out for those temple marksmen as well, because their archers are as good as ours. So we've got some orc defenders pushing our front line. They were spawned in Minas Morgalt. And how well is everyone else doing? Right, we've been victorious there with that cavalry. So let's get them to swing around on the left-hand side. We might be able to cycle charge if we see an opportunity. Right, scouts. Why are you taking so long? You need to be double timing it. Okay, so we've got some Linden or Lindar bowmen. Yeah, hit those orc marauders. We might actually be able to charge and wrap around, because that was basically it. I don't think there's any more going to be wrapping around that left side. So, although I want to hold and waste most of my ammunition, it's swinging around a bit more into my favour. So let's try and make a push. Let's see how we go. Because we're pushing them quite a bit on my right. We'll drop a morale buff there. And we'll continue around this way. Get those marksmen maybe. 7% to 37, so we're doing well. We are slowly but surely destroying the armies of Mordor. Awesome. So if we can be victorious here today, we've probably destroyed 2 stacks, I would say. Within our first offensive. Good charge. I was going to say good charge. That was a very garbage. That was not good. It's just like, I think some of the marksmen at the back there clipped them or something. It stopped the momentum. But my archers still have plenty of ammunition. They're having an absolute field day having some target practice against those black orcs there. Okay, maybe we can try our secondary charge, please. Maybe here's some scouts in to support. 11% here now. My reinforcing army's doing actually okay. Sometimes they can be a little bit crazy, acting like headless chickens are running around the battlefield, but they seem to be not overly committing from that right-hand side, and we seem to be holding. Okay, still giving out those offensive attack orders, but we're in a very, very good position at the moment to go on and win this one. And then Minas Morgalt is firmly under our control. So once we break on in and then pass the pass of, is it Caerthungul? I think that's what it's called, I can't remember. We have an opportunity to either go straight for Barad-dûr, or we could go for the Black Gate. We'll just have to see where their armies lie that we have to push for. But so far, for the conquest of Mordor and its Black Mountains, we're about to take our first piece of territory. Yeah, and what I would consider this Mordor. 20% to their 50 now, and my infantry is just carving through their front line. Yep, it's about 95% to capitulation now. Look at that, 95. What a guess. I was just looking at the bar. And there's Zagar, a Nazgul. One down, many more to go. But, yeah, I feel like this Mordor faction, RNG-wise, has had a lot more Nazguls and Witch King and a lot more generals than I had in this time in my campaign. I feel like the AI has given them some cheats, a little bit too more bonuses than what I'd like. But it's okay. I think that shouldn't dissuade us too much. We should be able to pursue through it. Here we go. They're dropping like flies now, these generals. Awesome. That's a really good gain. Alright, we have victory. And we're going to be able to march on in. Oh, we're going to have to fight it, are we? Nope. Guthmog was inside with only a skeleton crew garrisoning Minas Morgalt, and it is now back under our control. Right, we're going to push to Caerthungul, and hi, Lord Elrond, the Conqueror of Minas Ithil. Leofric is inside. That's another Nazgul down. One Witch King, 2 Nazgul Kaputski. And now we've taken the... yeah, it was the pass of Caerthungul. And now we've made it through one of the key choke points in Mordor. That's the hardest task, just getting past this narrow passage. There's the Black Gate with the garrison inside. Okay, so we've reached Mount Doom and Barad-dûr. Let's move my spies in. So by the look of it, we're probably better off to hit Barad-dûr. It's got a smaller garrison than the Black Gate. Alright, here we go. Round 2. The Battle of the Last Alliance. We're just below Barad-dûr. And Shivas is inside with a pretty decent army. So, we're going to just go straight for Barad-dûr, and then we'll double back around and take the Black Gate. Alrighty. So, there it is. The Black Tower. So this is technically a siege with our ballista up. So once we take Barad-dûr, this should massively weaken Mordor. Like, this will basically bankrupt them, not having their capital. And then we'll make our way westward and pick apart those last couple of settlements and take the Black Gate as well. We'll definitely play that. It's just the way we attacked on through. Coming up into Minas Tirith by boat. We didn't even need to hit the Black Gate. Okay, so let's just see how we go. So we might need to move my ballista up. Are they in range? Is that a reinforced gate? Yeah, it is. Okay. And they're sitting further back. There's the tower. Crikey. Crazy model. Look at this. There is Barad-dûr. And its fiery anomaly. Look at that. Look at the bottom of it. Crikey. Okay. So, we are getting some shots off. My worry is, if we run out of ammunition with this ballista, we are not going to be able to get in. We might have to move this ballista unit a little bit further up. Okay. We seem to be hitting it a little bit. But if they're going to sit back and relax and just let me move my ballista up here, I'm going to do it. The poor Elvie boys, the boys, are really struggling to push this damn ballista across. But they are actually making their way through. God, these camera angles give me the absolute annoyance sometimes. I was going to say a swear word, but this is a family-friendly channel now. Right. Come on. My God, far out. Why are they going back? Oh, was it 82% anyway? We didn't need to fluff around with that. Oh yeah, there we go. Far out. Right. Let's grab everyone. Now head to the town square. Okay, so this might be slightly difficult because we're not going to be able to use all our archers to their potential. Okay, it looks like they're coming out now. It's a parlay. Now the gate's now kaput. It's broken. We've found a way in. Now, into this town square, there's actually two ways. There's actually a way on the left and... there's definitely a way on the right. I can't remember if there's a way on the left. I think so. There's multiple ways into this. So, we'll just have to see how we go. So, they've moved out one orc band unit. We've got all my melee infantry here now. And they've just got to punch their way through. Might be a little bit of a grind. We'll try and get our ballista in as well. Get some shots with my archers. Let's group them up and like try to hit that. Alright. And we'll see how we go. We're fighting uphill as well. So sometimes these custom settlements, not gonna lie, can be a little bit tough to push and break your way on in, as they turn into a bit of a meat grinder sometimes, fighting through these narrow channels. So we're doing alright. 1% to their 4 that we're charging. There's only just orc defenders there, so it shouldn't be too much of a nuisance. And we're getting some shots on, so we're actually doing a lot better. If we didn't have archer support, might just take that little bit longer to break on in through. But once we get this past this bit, we should be able to hit the town square from multiple angles. And then the Black Tower, Barad-dûr, will be under our control. Could you imagine if Frodo got all the way to Mordor and Elrond was like, "Hey, come check out my elven kingdom." We're like, "Why the... what? I walked... I don't know. How far is it? How many Ks? I wouldn't know. How many... How far is it to Mordor? Hang on. Right, just looked it up. Apparently it's 3,000 kilometers-ish from the Shire to get to Mordor. So it's quite a bit. It would have taken them 4.5 months to walk in the books. Which is kind of crazy. I think it took them a lot. Well, it would have taken them 4 months to walk that. Obviously, they had trials and trepidations. I don't know how long it took them in the books. I can't remember. Okay, so we've lost 7% to their 20. We're actually getting stuck into some Temple Garden now. And... Zag is no more. Good. Right, so we've got some Orc archers here. We're going to be able to open up another path. So we'll push to the right here. With my archers and my cavalry. So just like... Yeah, swing you like here. There we go. I hit that. Okay. So, the rest of my melee infantry should be able to hit on through those raiders, and I want to try and swing around with my archers so we can properly use them, but we should be able to make quick work of these guys. If not by the archers, but with the cavalry that came flying on in like a freight train there. And we'll get the rest around there as well. Awesome. But yeah. You made me go through the bloody marsh, Elrond. It's like, yes, now chuck the ring in so I can go home. Okay. Man, we are just wiping the floor with this 7 stack of archer units. Pull them back because we're getting charged by some light host here. Okay. I think some others got grouped up in that by accident. Yes, to continue to hit that. Try and kite them, hit move, and try and agitate them, move them around a bit. Okay. Still a close one. Just trying to... There goes another general. Ah, there goes the desert sand. That was cool. Sheev, whatever his name is. Yeah, just trying to mitigate some of my losses here. Drop another morale buff. There's an orc band. Yeah, maybe just try and stop those guys from hitting. Yeah, like you only need to get a couple to hit them. And then we're good. $28 now. Nearly about to claim victory in Barad-dûr. And we've done alright, seeing we haven't been able to really recruit or do that much retraining or healing, to be honest, in this territory, until we can flip it on over to elven culture. We found a new bountiful land, a bit of Gondor, a bit of Mordor for the elves. Maybe we can regrow it to like a woodland realm. Anyway, Barad-dûr is now ours. And we'll exterminate, and we've taken the Black Tower. The Unstoppable, the Fearless, the Conqueror of Barad-dûr. Is that his name now? High Lord Elrond the Conqueror. Yeah, can't do much replenishment. Okay, so we're continuing westward now to make our way towards the Black Gate. And we'll try and take some of these western outskirt unit territories that have just some units inside. So Durthang has some units as well. Just repair that. What's inside Durthang? Just a unit. No, we can't attack in one turn. Winter now. We can push into Durthang. Some units made their way in, unfortunately, but we should be okay. Whoa! We lost a lot there, actually. Crikey. In that order resolve. Okay, we're sieging at the Black Gate now, but that last order resolve really suffered us. Damn it, I should have played it. Because now we got 560, while they have 1.3k, so we're quite outnumbered. So, it's a shame it put us on the other side, which is annoying. Seeing mostly Mordor has capitulated. There's maybe, I don't know, Nirn in some of the eastern provinces, which we still need to nab. But we're on the other side. We shouldn't have to break down the gate again. But anyway, I'm only complaining because we're nearly outnumbered. Well, it's 1.3, so we're nearly outnumbered 3 to 1, let alone 2 to 1. So this battle can get a little bit complicated. Oh, and they're actually rushing me as well. With some heavy, so the Varangian or some Khand heavies or whatever they are. Or some Eastlings. Damn it, okay. We do have plenty of battering rams. And we do have a ballista to break on in if we need to. But them charging out like that, a little bit smart. We'll move up my siege equipment. Like, I'll just leave everyone attached to it for now. Because I want to eventually get my siege equipment there and probably drop it anyway. But it looks like they're just sort of chilling there. Especially on the left with the cav. They are trickling out some units. Slightly. We'll just try and skirmish them with some of these remaining Dunedain scouts. But yeah, looks like the forces from the Black Gate are pouring on out. This is going to be a really tough one, actually. Okay, so the siege equipment's there. We're not going to be able to, you're not going to be able to get that up on the walls, I reckon. So just try and drop that. Drop this siege equipment now. It's in a closer, safer location. And then watch out for those lancers about to come in at ya. Okay. So let the infantry push there. Oh, we've got some archers hanging around here. And just like regroup that like there. The problem is they've done the smart thing and they've pushed me. It would have been more beneficial for me to sort of funnel them and control them within the Black Gate and then get my shots off. But now they're actually just really going after me because they know they've got the numbers on me. Alright, so like you need to stop that from flanking my left and exposing it. Okay, so some of my archers have stopped, but they are firing the majority of them. My archers really need to carry me in this one. But the Battle of the Black Gate is well underway. Okay, so these Linden Bowmen are just holding, which is fine. Oh, this is going to be really tough. I don't know if we're going to be able to pull this one out the bag. Because we've lost 16% to their 20. And they outnumber us way more. Ugh. Old men. We've done alright with 1.5 stacks. Man, if we brought any less, I don't know if we'd be able to finish off Mordor as we can. I do have more reinforcements coming eventually. I honestly should have been trickling them down ever so often, but I do have a stack well on the way. I just haven't showed you guys for editing purposes, but that'll eventually get down here. I don't know if we're even going to need it. We should be able to get rid of the rest of Mordor with this army. 29%. Okay, it swung back a bit now. Now that my ballista's entered the fray. 3166. Okay, good. I feel a bit more confident now and competent. My ballista's firing in, giving us some really good support. My infantry's mostly been whitewashed. However, my archers are really carrying us. A lot of them used a lot of their ammunition, but mostly Elrond has more. And they seem to be fleeing back in the tower. Back beyond the Black Gate. Perfect. I want to try and give chase if I can. Ah, they've closed it. We'll move back. We should have enough ammunition in the ballista just to send that quickly up. Cowards. What do you expect from a roaming pack of orcs and uruks, to be honest? Okay, get my archers hit those lurkers. Hanging out just at the gate. Reform that. Yeah. There's only like one there now anyway. Okay, get this ballista going. They did alright in Barad-dûr. They should do fine bombarding the Black Gate. Oh. Elrond and those Ithilien Rangers seem to be getting some shots off by the look of it. That's a crazy volley to get off. Oh, it's a ballista unit that's tucked inside. Thankfully, they didn't get that out. That could have really complicated things. Okay, the reinforced Black Gate is about to fall. We'll be able to push in against those ballista. Group the Dunedain scouts in, because we need every single melee we can. Melee boy. Look at the tower, was actually hitting us a bit there. So let's charge on in. Elrond is nearly out of ammunition as well. Man, we're going to come to the absolute bitter end of this fight.
Our soldiers have proved their worth today. The enemy's walls belong to us.
So what's that? About 4 full stacks now? God, taking Mordor at the start, saying as a challenge was easier said than done. It's been a pretty big slog in and around these dark Forsaken lands. So, great. Is that a full unit of halberds there? Probably more than what we've all got combined. Oh my god. Yeah, 175. Hopefully we can go through that, but we're probably going to struggle a bit. Gonna have to get the ballista unit involved. We lost 40%. We only had about 500, now we got about 250. It's basically just going to be Elrond and some last little elves. Oh, the dwarves are still here. Most of the men and cavalry are gone though. Yeah, just try and flank it all around. There we go. There goes the general. The first lieutenant. We might even be able to destroy the faction from this. Like, we've just because we've killed so many generals and faction heirs, I mean. I'd still think they've got Nirn and a couple more territories left in the east. But I'm not entirely certain. We're in that heroic victory. Elrond, still on the warpath, has now taken the Black Gate. He's taken it now. Whew, what a conquest. Continuing eastward now, just finishing off the last of Mordor.
We protect the elven lands. Claim it for the free peoples.
Glorfindel returns, 41 turns into the campaign. Sorry, Glorfindel, we don't really need you at the moment. You're a fantastic commander, but Mordor is nearly capitulated. Pushing into Surgos now, and this should be the last settlement in Mordor. Some reinforcements eventually arrived, so at least we've got some decent elven heavies now. About time. 50 turns into the campaign. But with Surgos gone, I'm surprised Mordor isn't defeated. We've got Tharbad, Nirn to the south. But that's it. That's all. That's technically all of the lands of Mordor. They must have some Gondorian territory somewhere. I don't know. Kind of weird. Anyway, on that note, it's time to end the video here. Thank you very much for watching. I don't know how many territories we've taken 17. Far, I knew it was more than 15, because that was the objectives. 15 regions and take Barad-dûr and eliminate Mordor, because we've had a lot of battles against them. But yeah, I don't know where they technically are. They must have like one settlement in the middle of absolute nowhere, keeping them alive. But to be honest, I think Mordor has definitely been capitulated today. So, unfortunately, I've got to wrap the video up here. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed Elrond's rush for Mordor, or like Elrond's expedition force. We did alright. We started off in humble beginnings in Lindon. We built up quite well. We took a couple of early settlements in Tharbad. And yeah, not really too much sort of happened in the north of our campaign. We ferried over some troops eventually, but we used Osgiliath as a pretty decent launching pad. We took Osgiliath. I was kind of hoping that by the time we got down there, maybe Minas Tirith had been taken, because I really wanted to play that, but that's alright. Maybe the same with Calandros, but we took Minas Morgalt, pushed into Mordor, had plenty of battles in the old, let's say, fields of where the Battle of the Last Alliance took place. We took Barad-dûr, we took the Black Gate, and Mordor has been purged from this land. Or maybe you can't defeat them for some reason. You know what I mean? Like, they have Sauron hiding in the corner of the map, and like in my Mordor campaign, there was like Nazgûl in the north that like spawned on in. So maybe that's what's keeping them alive. I'm not entirely sure. But anyway, the High Elves have taken Mordor, and we've completed today's challenge and objective. So let me know in the comments so I can plan ahead. A Total War / mod, a faction you'd like me to play as, and sort of an objective / challenge. You know what I mean? Like this one. My Dwarves campaign is the Doors of Khazad-dûm. We took Moria. That was the plan. The Elves of Lothlórien was to destroy Isengard and take Dol Guldor. So go check out those videos if you haven't. But yeah, I don't know. Medieval 2. Take Rome as the Byzantines. England. Take Jerusalem. I don't know. Just suggestions like that. Alright. Got to end the video here. I've had an absolute blast recording here today. I'm rambling quite a bit towards the end. But I've got to play the outro now and say thank you to this month's channel patrons and members, which you guys can also join. I don't usually ask, but it's there if you want it. You don't have to. But your name gets read out at the end of every single video every month. So, yeah. Your name gets read out every single video in the month you donated. So, thanks. Alright, take care, boys. Stay tuned for more videos on the channel. I'm going to have a break. Alright, goodbye. Unfortunately, it's time to end the video here. Thank you very much for watching. Check out my social media links in the description below if you'd like to stay connected with me. Let me know feedback and suggestions for the video. Got to say a huge thank you to my patrons and channel members: Victor K, Sebastian C, Jordan K, Caesar L, Brian S, Tal, Liam B, Kyle P, Tom C, and Wyatt P. So thanks guys, my name has been Simpzy, much love from Australia, goodbye.